Hey, you want it? I got it. Let's talk about it. All right, coming up this weekend, we have Clash in Paris. All right, and this is going to be my prediction. So, we have a few matches that are not going to be on the actual PLE, but we're going to talk about those matches also because those matches are also going to be done in Paris on SmackDown. So here's a couple of matches that I'm gonna go ahead and say for SmackDown on Friday night before the PLE Clash in Paris. So we got Sami Zayn that's going to be going against Solo Sikoa, for the U.S. Title. So because Sammy is actually left Raw to come over to SmackDown. So was it to eventually align with, the original bloodline for a build going up towards Survivor Series, which comes in around November, October? One of the 2 months. I know it's later in the year, one of the bigger PLEs towards the end of the year and stuff. Is he going to come back and join with, maybe Jimmy, Jay, Roman Reigns? They get it all together and then they go up against Seth in the Vision. We don't know, but ultimately, of course, as far as this match is concerned, Solo Sikoa being with the MFTs, I believe do with outside interference. I believe Solo Sikoa retains that title. And then we have Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair going against Piper Niven and Alba Fire, for the women's tag team title. Um, yeah, I don't see Piper or Alba Fire winning this. Chelsea's doing. I'm sure Chelsea's going to be there. She's going between splitting between NXT and SmackDown. I don't think that it's going to be. I think it's just going to be a clean pin. We already know that Piper Niven did beat Charlotte Flair in a clean pin. It was retarded that she beat Charlotte Flair, but and then Alexa, she beat Piper Niven with a roll up. So some things I just don't really get as far as how things are going up. But as far as these tag titles, I do not see Piper Niven and Elba Fire as tag team champions. I don't think they'll be able to represent or bring the belts to where Alexa and Charlotte are going to bring these titles and stuff. We need have some big title moments and bring these titles like they used to be. I remember back a while back there were SmackDown Women's Tag Team Champion, a Raw Women's Tag Team Champion, and NXT Women's Champion. They just took them all away and just made it one. And that's the World Tag Team titles. As far as the women's are concerned and stuff. So Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair will retain as champions. Then we got the Street Profits going against Miller Don't Miz. Um, I think Miz and Carmelo Hayes. I hate to say it for the Street Profits and everything because I think their title run that they had was only a few months and stuff, and how they lost the titles, to the White Six, and it is just crazy. I still don't understand or believe why the White Six are the tag team champions, but hopefully, I think Miz and Mello um, are gonna win this match to go on. It should be a good match. I guess it's gonna probably might be at WrestlePalooza or maybe another SmackDown. I don't know. WrestlePalooza. I'm still trying to get that in my head, trying to figure out who named that PLE, who gave it its name. And in fact, it's going to be hard because it's going to be on ESPN at that particular time, and it's whew, I don't know. By now you would think that ESPN would be advertising, Raw and stuff. I've seen other platforms doing it and stuff, but as far as on the ESPN app, I haven't really seen anything. I have my ESPN for my YouTube, and I have ESPN on Disney Plus. So I'm hoping that somewhere along the line, it's on one of them too, stuff. So I don't know, don't really know what's going on with that and stuff, but hopefully they'll work it out. And that's for another video because I do want to talk about that and how things have changed from the WWE network to where we're now on so many different streaming channels just to watch the programs, the PLEs and stuff, which, the WWE is definitely losing a lot of audience. But anyway, and somewhere along the line, I believe Stephanie Valkyrie is going to get a match maybe with Io Sky. It's not going to be at Clash, but it's going to be some point. I think there should have been another match added to the Clash in Paris. What's going on with the fact that Julia, why is she not defending her title? She has not defended her titles in the last couple of PLEs, which isn't making any sense. So I don't know if she's hurt or how they're doing that. I know they're pushing Meechin, to go after that title and stuff, but we'll see how that works also. All right, so let's get into Clash in Paris. And we're going to start off with Sheamus and Rusev. This match, the Donnybrook match, is going to be one banger after banger after banger after banger after banger after banger match. I think this one is going to go all over the place, hopefully, because it's a Donnybrook match and they should be all over the place. Let's not make it like 90% of the match inside the ring. Let's take it to the outside. Let's take it to the audience. Let's go around the arena and everything, just brawl and stuff, And I'm thinking in this match, really want Sheamus to win this match, but I think Rusev is going to win it because, Rusev just got there, and that might not even matter. But I think Rusev is going to go over on this one, but I'm sure hoping that Sheamus is the one that wins and stuff. So just for the heck of it, I'm going to go with Sheamus. So I'm going to say Sheamus wins this match. And then we got Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella. Now I know Nikki Bella, as she said before, talking to Becky that, she was one of the ones that paved the highway for Becky to be in the position that she's in and stuff. But and that's true too. But I don't see any way that Nikki should be winning this title from Becky Lynch. Becky has actually made the title a little bit better. I think people look forward to seeing Becky coming out with this title. Even though it's a mid-card title and stuff like that, but Becky is bringing something different with the title. So I'm thinking through all of this, where does Lyra Valkyria stand? And with Bayley, Bayley has done lost her mind now. So I'm figuring that she's going to turn heel here soon. Where is she going to make that turn at? On which program? I'm sure it's going to be on SmackDown, maybe, hopefully here at Clash in Paris. But yeah, Bayley is about ready to become heel. I don't know if she's going to go to the old, ding dong, the doors, and all that other stuff. I don't know what direction she's going in. But to hearing the good her and the not crazy her, it's just like Randy Orton hearing voices and stuff. She got voices in her head, seriously. So, and we'll see. But in this match between Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella, Becky's going to retain this title. Somehow I feel that I'm hoping not. Just that, Becky and Lara just go through their feud, see how, not Becky, but Bayley go through that with Lara, see how that works, see how the writers do that. But in this match, Becky's going to win and she's going to retain. And then the next match we got Roman Reigns against Big Bronson Reed. And they're calling him the tribal thief with the tribal chief, and them two going at it with each other and stuff like that. You know, I can see people saying that maybe Bronson Reed could win this match, but I don't think so. I think Roman Reigns is going to win this match. He needs to win this match and win this match clean and stuff. I mean, it's gonna be a good match. Should be a good knockdown brawl. Hopefully, that Roman Reigns will be able to get his shoes back from Bronson Reed and stuff. But it wouldn't be surprising if Bronson Reed tsunamis the hell out of Roman Reigns again, and then takes another pair of shoes, and then they have you know Shula Fala fight or something. I don't know, man. This is just like crazy. Um, it's like crazy. But I think the matches, for Clash of Champions, Clash in Paris, are going to be uh, real good. But please, again, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, leave a comment. Let me know how you're feeling uh, and stuff. And then I just come to you raw and uncut. So I'm hoping that you guys like, the videos and what I'm saying and stuff. But again, back to Roman and Bronson Reed. Roman Reigns, I believe, wins this match. I'm sure there's probably going to be some outside interference with Braun Breaker, because I think ultimately down the road, Roman is going to have to beat Braun Breaker because, they're saying Braun Breaker is going to be the next big thing, for the business, going down the road, going into WrestleMania 42. So we're going to see. But anyway, Roman wins this match. And then we have the Fatal 4-Way match with Seth Rollins, LA Knight, CM Punk, and Jey Uso. This match, it should be a good match. The thing about this match, and we all know Seth is going to retain. And by it being a fatal 4-way, there's going to be some interference and stuff. I'm not sure how the interference is going to come, but I'm sure somehow, Sami Zayn is going to show up. I'm sure somehow, um, Braun Breaker is going to show up and stuff. So it's going to be crazy. Seth gets the win, and I'm sorry, Jay. I think Jay is going to, take the pin. I don't think that they're going to try to break down LA Knight and stuff. They got to leave him on a momentum and stuff. So if he does get a chance to go after the title, got to keep him standing strong. Just like with CM Punk, got to keep them standing strong. Jay had his reign, and hopefully it'll recircle and come back, and Jay gets back on top again. Further down the road, I don't know, because they got to open up some doors for the wrestlers that are down in NXT, because they have some real good talent down there, and it's time that they bring that talent up to the main rosters and stuff. So, with that being said, Seth Rollins wins that Fatal 4-Way to retain that title. I think things are going to build up as far as going down to Survivor Series. You know, as far as that vision, and then what's going on with Roman Reigns, and Jey Uso dealing with Seth Rollins, and Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. So I'm thinking somewhere down the line, as it builds towards stuff, and I don't know what they're gonna do as far as the WrestlePalooza. There's only one match I think out of WrestlePalooza that's gonna happen, and I'm about ready to get to that. And so in this Fatal 4-Way, Seth Rollins wins. There'll be the outside interference, but since there's no disqualification, that's how he's going to win to retain the title. And I'm sorry, Jay, you're going to have to take the pin on this one. And then we have John Cena and Logan Paul. Okay, and everybody's probably asking themselves, why? Where's Brock Lesnar? Why isn't John Cena fighting Brock Lesnar at Clash in Paris? Well, we all know what happened in SummerSlam. We know that Cody Rhodes beat John Cena, and then out comes Braun Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar, and he destroys John Cena. I mean, he F bombed him a few times and stuff, but I'm thinking that this match is gonna go good now. It could either go a couple of ways, and I'm seeing it. It could go as John Cena, doing a clean pin over Logan Paul, or Brock Lesnar comes down, kind of gets to interfere, you know, puts the F bomb on John Cena, and then Logan Paul wins that way, or John Cena AAs Logan Paul, wins the match. Brock Lesnar comes down and attacks him again and leaves John Cena, just lying in the ring. So it's going to happen, one of them the ways. I don't know how that's going to go. I'm actually predicting that John Cena does win this match. I'm hoping the Clash, in Paris is going to be a good PLE because, some of the programming, the writing and stuff, just make things start making sense, because a lot of things aren't making sense, and I do blame this on Triple H, some of the other creative writers and stuff like that. They can make this program better. They can make WWE better. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not giving up on them yet and stuff, so I'm still going to cling in there, still put out these videos. Please subscribe. I'm looking for 1,000 people. Here, like I said before in my other videos, I just started this journey as far as putting videos out on wrestling. Um, and so I'm looking for 1,000 subscribers. I've been doing this now for 6 months, and it's moving slow, but hopefully I'll get up there and stuff. But anyway, so that's my predictions on Clash in Paris. As I'm looking at this card, it should be a pretty decent card and stuff. It just depends on what happens throughout these matches. Are they going to be clean matches? Are they going to be interference matches? Two of the matches that we already know that aren't going to be, no disqualification. But I think, like I said, with Sheamus and Rusev, that's going to be all over the place. But I believe Rusev will win that. Not Rusev, but Sheamus will win that. Seth Rollins will win. Again, John Cena will win. Could be outside interference. If not, then I believe Brock Lesnar leaves John Lane again, and then we'll see what happens at WrestlePalooza because I think that's when they're gonna clash. And it sucks that John Cena is not champion, but I'm seeing down the road that I believe that he will be champion before he retires, and then he gets taken out by somebody. Um, it's kind of like with Shawn Michaels and Ric Flair. Ric Flair had this tremendous career. And Shawn Michaels, Sweet Chin Music, he said he was sorry, puts Flair down 1, 2, 3. So something like that made John Cena go out big. But anyway, thank you for watching. God bless you. Deuces. Have a great time, and I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.